great opportunity so that you can practice your English. Yes, and learn something new today. So, well, is it your first time in a vineyard?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
First time in Santa Rita Vineyard? Yes. The teacher, of course, he has visited many vineyards. Yes. No.
Never.
Never. Okay. I will tell you briefly the history of the owners of this place so that you can have an idea. The first owner of this land was a woman called Mrs. Paula Jarquemada in 1780. That time this place used to be a hacienda, a country estate, a ranch. Okay, it was not a vineyard yet in 1780. In 1790, they built that house over there, the red house. Can you see over there? It's a colonial house where they say in the basement were hidden 120 soldiers, or at least some of them.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I know the story.
These Chilean soldiers fought for our independence in the past. So that's why in this vineyard we have a bottle of wine called Santa Rita 120. Which is a homage to those Chilean soldiers who fought for our liberty in the past. So once we get into that house, I will tell you more details.
Yeah.
This fantastic story. Alright?
Yes. I love this. Yeah, I know.
Very, very interesting. So then, in 1880, Domingo Fernandez Concha, a Chilean politician and also businessman, bought this land, and he converted the hacienda into a vineyard in 1880. And because he was a very Catholic person and he really believed in Santa Rita, he named this place as Viña Santa Rita in Spanish. Yes, Santa Rita from Italy of Acacia. Santa Rita is the saint of the impossible task, we can say. Santa Rita is the saint of the impossible causes. She cures sicknesses. Santa Rita. Yes. So if you have something impossible to achieve, yes, if you have something impossible to achieve, remember Santa Rita. Yes, any problem. It could be a financial problem, it could be a love problem. Yes, maybe the subject is too difficult. Remember Santa Rita. Okay, any problem you have. So the vineyard was made in 1880. Then the Garcia Huidobro family, they were the owners of this place many years. Then in 1980, Ricardo Claro, a very important and well-known businessman, bought this company, and because of him, the levels of production and exportation of wines started to grow in Santa Rita Vineyard. So that's why this company today is very famous. We have many visitors today. Unfortunately, in 2008, Ricardo Claro passed away, and today a public limited company called Claro Group, we can say they are the owners of Santa Rita Vineyard. Just Chilean businessman, nothing to do with a cell phone company, Claro, nothing to do, no relationship, just Chilean business. Yes. We are going to start a tour next to this bougainvillea, and remember to take pictures, use your cameras, your cell phones, no problem. This is our garden of different varieties we have here in Santa Rita Vineyard. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Most of these varieties were obtained from France in the past. The Petit Syrah, Syrah, Carmenère, Cabernet Franc, Merlot, and the Cabernet Sauvignon, they are red varieties. But for us, for Chileans, and especially for the tourism world, the Carmenère is very special. Yes, probably you heard about this story before. The Carmenère used to live in France in the past, but disappeared because there was a plague called phylloxera. The phylloxera was a very small insect that usually absorbed the sap from the vine, so that's why the Carmenère disappeared in France. Yes, more or less in 1863, they discovered the phylloxera in France. The phylloxera started in the United States, yes, and then affected Europe. So in 1850 in Chile, they obtained some Merlot grapevines. Over there we have some samples. But accidentally there were some Carmenère vines. So that is how the Carmenère survived in Chile and survived the war. In 1994, in Carmen Vineyard, they rediscovered the Carmenère in Chile. Yes, the Carmenère is a red wine, very soft, very elegant, and because of that, women like a lot the Carmenère. Yes. very elegant, soft red wine, the Carmenere. Yes, a French ampelographer called Jean-Michel Bouscot, he saw the Merlot vines, but he said, hey guys, this is not Merlot, this is Carmenere. Yes, so that's how we obtain the Carmenere in Chile, by mistake. Yes. So let's continue. Remember that variety, the Carmenere. Then we have the Cabernet Franc, the Merlot, the Cabernet Sauvignon, also red varieties. I'm going to stop here a little while because the Cabernet Sauvignon is very special for us, and especially in this valley. But I have a question for you. Have you ever tried some Cabernet Sauvignon before? This wine?
Yeah.
It's very famous. It's one of the most famous red wine that we have today in the world, the Cabernet Sauvignon. We can say that the father of the Cabernet Sauvignon, we can say that, is the Cabernet Franc over there, a red variety, the Cabernet Franc. So we have the father over there. Don't you think we need the mother? Of course, yes. The mother, we can say just here, Sauvignon Blanc. Yes, a white variety. Can you notice the relations of words? Cabernet from there, the Cabernet Franc, and Sauvignon from here, Sauvignon Blanc. Yes, this variety was born because of a natural combination vaporization that occurred in France, Bordeaux in the past. Yes. Red, white varieties created this red variety, the Cabernet Sauvignon. And because we are in Maipo Valley, this terroir, this valley is called Maipo. They say we produce one of the best Cabernet Sauvignon all over the world. So that's why in the wine tasting, guess what? We are going to drink some Cabernet Sauvignon. So get ready for that moment, the best part of the tour. Oh, sorry. I didn't have to mention that. Yes. So
I didn't hear anything.
yes. Finally, Sauvignon Blanc and Chardonnay, two white varieties that are mostly produced near the coast, near the ocean in Chile. The País grape from Spain was the first grape they obtained in order to make wine. The País. Okay. Very good. Now we're going to walk through the grapevine, then we're going to visit our facilities. We're going to do many, many things. So take pictures, remember.
Se acaba la...
Very good. This place is called Maipo Valley. Okay, we are very close to Los Andes Mountains. We are 550 meters above the sea level. The soil we have here is called alluvial gravel. It's a soil consisted of mud, silt, okay, and some sand. It's a very fertile soil, okay, with good drainage. So in winter, it rains 350 millimeters to 400 millimeters. We can say it rains a lot, more than Santiago here in this area. It's very humid during the winter. During the summer, it's very hot, very dry. So this combination of temperatures and the soil we have here, the best grape that is produced here, with better result, I mean, is the Cabernet Sauvignon. So that's why we're going to drink some Cabernet Sauvignon later. Yes. Over there we have some Cabernet Sauvignon grapevines behind you. And here we have Cabernet Franc red vine. Yes, in Maipo Valley they make a lot of red varieties. Okay. We have the roses. All the visitors ask me, Victor, why do you have roses in Santa Rita Vineyard? Yes, it's because they are beautiful, they say. Yes, for decoration? Not really, more or less. The thing is, if some plagues visit the vineyard, first thing that is going to die is a rose because the rose is weak, is sensitive. So once the rose dies, we pay attention to the grapevines and we try to eliminate those plagues. So in other words, the roses are like canarian in the mines.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
they will die first, like guinea pigs. Sorry, it's necessary. Okay, they die in order to know what's happening here. Okay, so this place is called Maipo Valley. By the way, the grape harvest. Yes, of course, once a year, March and April in Maipo Valley. Yes, it could be manually to make premium wines, this occasion, you will see some grapes. Yes, you will see some cluster. If you want to taste some grapes, go ahead, no problem. You can clean with your fingers and you can eat the grapes. No problem, okay? You are not going to die. Okay?
We can.
So this area you will see some Cabernet Franc grapes. So if you see some of them,
100 pesos each.
Esto es turismo aventura.
they're very sweet, by the way.
That's great. Parecen de esos tomatitos que saca ahí.
The great harvest was done, yes, as I told you, March, April, but they're still fresh and they're very sweet. Very good. So now we're going to visit our facilities, we're going to visit our wine cellars. You will smell a very special aroma here, and why? Because they are making some wine inside. Yes, remember to take pictures. This way, please.
I will drink. Sí, yeah. There is nothing. Me curé con el culo loco.
Okay, everyone here, I think, yes. I think so, yes. Very good. Everything begins here. The grain harvest occurs once a year in this area. Maipo Valley, March and April. They will obtain the grapes, then they will place the grapes, the cluster here. The clusters, the stems and the leaves, right here, everything. Then the clusters, the grapes, will go to this machine called the stemmer machine in English. Máquina de Hispánica ahora en Spanish. They're the stemmer machine, right here. Let me explain how this machine works. This is the stemmer machine. All the clusters will go inside, will go through, and then this machine is going to separate the grapes and the leaves. The grapes will appear here, only grapes, clean grapes, no water. This machine works with centrifugal force, okay? Very strong. And then here we have the stems and the leaves separated. Do you understand more or less?
Yeah.
Yes. Only the grapes here, and in this area, yes, the stems and the leaves. Then we will receive everything over there, and then we can use that material to fertilize the soil in order to take advantage of the material we produce here. Yes? So, to make the red wine, we send the red grapes, directly to the stainless steel tank. Sometimes they crush grapes here, okay? We have the option to crush grapes. They have a crushing machine, molinera, they say in Spanish, in order to crush immediately the grapes. So then we send everything, the red grapes, immediately to the stainless steel tanks. Here we have a pneumatic press. We use the pneumatic press to obtain the juice from the grapes. Only the juice. This machine contains something like a bladder that will fill up and will make pressure to the grapes. We will receive the juice from the grapes over there. Okay? Everything starts here, the reception area. Then we transport everything. We can use some pipes over there, some containers to transport the mass, the juice, to the stainless steel tank. Over there I will tell you more details, so don't worry, okay? Remember, step by step, I will try to explain the winemaking process.
¿Te faltó algo, no? ¿No? Como ve que te me fuiste.
¿No crees?
Sí. Oh, 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 oh.
More love.
Acá donde ocultaron la interesante.
¿Qué cosa? ¿Dónde ocultaron aquí?
No,
Los 120.
Ah,
si salió hasta en una publicidad.
ah sí. No se ve nada.
Pero graba el audio.
No, pero igual.
Puedo enviar por el internet.
También puede ser. De hecho tengo la linterna prendida.
Yes, you have questions, tell me. Candles. No, not really. I can't remember the name.
Un tapón.
Hasta.
It's a kind of, ¿cómo se llama este?
¿Ocho?
Sí, no, pero que le llaman, es un material distinto. Ahí cuando me acuerdo te digo, ¿eh? Parece de la no es.
¿Es cera? ¿Es bonita?
Es silicona, sí.
Hecho para Rocío Marengo.
Generalmente usaban los de coche antiguamente, pero hoy en día es silicona, como que deja más cerrado, ¿ya?
Es más aislante.
Es más hermético, más aislante, ya que los coches que usaban antiguamente.
Ay, estoy aquí.
Very good. So this is our wine cellar number 9. We have 15 cellars in this plant. Santa Rita Viña has 5 plants all over the country. Okay, we have, for example, in Casablanca, Colchagua Valley, Rapel Valley. Okay, more than 4,000 hectares here in Chile. They make a lot of wine. So to age the wine, especially the red varieties, we use American and we use French oak barrels, okay, for the aging process. For the Reserva red varieties, red wines, we use American oak barrels, basically in Santa Rita Vineyard. More or less 8 months in the barrel in order to obtain different results. The Reserva, okay, red varieties, Santa Rita Vineyard, American oak barrels. Then we have the Grand Reserva category. In that opportunity, in that occasion, we use French oak barrels for the aging process, 14 months, more or less, okay? And finally, we have the premium wines, okay? For that category, we use also the French oak barrels, but 14 to 20 months, more or less, the aging process. The wood, the oak, will change the flavor of the wine, we change the aromas of the wine, we are going to obtain different structure, we are going to obtain more tannins, and we are going to obtain a very smooth, soft wine. That's the idea here. The young wines, for example, we finish the process in the stainless steel tanks, and then they will immediately bottle. They will bottle immediately the young wine. But the Reserva, Grand Reserva and premium wines, we use the barrels to obtain better results, different sensation. Yes? So, we use them 3 times only in Santa Rita Viña, only 3 times. The very first use is for the premium wines, so to absorb, all the flavors and the aromas from the new wood, only 3 times. The capacity of one of these is 225 liters per 1 barrel. Okay? Please, if you have any question, any doubt, yes, in English, practice your English.
What do you do with the barrels after the 3?
Very good question. As I told you, we use them 3 times. Then the company sells the barrels to smaller companies, smaller vineyards, maybe to some distillery companies. For example, here in Chile, we make a lot of pisco. Yes, have you ever tried some pisco before? No. Yes?
What's
Never.
that?
No? What's that? Yes. These companies buy barrels, they use barrels. For example, one new barrel, the French oak barrels, the price could be between $600 to $700 one French oak barrel. So when it is used, of course, then the price is cheaper, like $60 to $70 once it is used. Yes, but empty, no wine inside. Okay,
That's sad.
yes. You have another question? Please tell me in English. Practice your English.
Any other question, guys?
Yes, please. Any question? Yes. Is it going to rain today? I don't know. Sorry, can you repeat, please? Let me see if I can answer that question. Maybe it's a tough question. And I can, the barrels, the price. Yes. Well, as I told you, the French oak barrels, $700. The American oak barrels a little bit cheaper, $500. Sorry, can you repeat the question again, please? With wine inside. No, we don't sell the barrels. Okay. No. Only batches, by the way. Okay. So the capacity 225 liters is possible. It's possible to fill 300 bottles per 1 barrel. Okay, we use them 3 times, as I told you.
I was just asking about how many barrels do you have here?
We have more than 1,000 barrels only here in this cellar. Upstairs, we have more barrels. So we have 15 cellars like this, and we have 5 plants. Okay, all of the, in the country. So we make a lot of wine. Yes. Please, any other question? This is a peaceful place so that you can ask questions. Yes, go ahead. Any question? Sit down. Yes. Okay, so let's continue now. We're going to have a look.
I have a question about the premium wine. Is it cheaper than other premium wines
In the world?
in the world?
Yes.
Because I think maybe it's one of the best, but will be cheaper.
Well, it's a tough question to answer, but the premium wines, in order to make a premium wine, we need vines, old vines, more than 30, 40 years old. Okay, the grape harvest will be manually. Okay, we will use new barrels. Okay, for the aging process, so that's why the price will be more expensive, but it's worth it because of the flavor. So that's why in other countries they appreciate that, and they buy a lot of premium wine from this vineyard. The price of one of, for example, the Casa Real, our icon wine, it's more or less 100 to 150 US dollars, only 1 bottle. Okay, and of course it's not that expensive like the French wines. Those are very expensive, okay, and very good. But in Chile we have good wine, and the price is not that expensive.
And do we have old wines? We have aging wines more than 10 years. And
To tell you the truth, it's impossible 10 years inside here because we will have an evaporation. Believe it or not, we are going to lose some wine here, more or less 10 millimeters to 20 millimeters per month. It's equal, it's like a teaspoon here. There is evaporation. And if it's a very long aging process, we are going to obtain at the end a very oaky wine. Too much flavor of the wood, so that also is bad for our wines. That's why 2 years, maybe 3 years, I've seen some bottles, the longest period of aging process. So let's visit the barley plant. It's a very noisy place, so I will just show you how the machine works. Okay. Let's continue.
Vamos a ver, ¿you también en la azúcar de hierro?
Yo estoy en el terreno.
Ah, ya.
Okay, so outside, over there, we can say we clean the grapes, yes, and we also crush the grapes, we can say that. Then we have the must they use here, we place everything here on the stainless steel tanks, and the first process we need to obtain is called fermentation process. In that opportunity, the winemakers will use some yeasts, levadura yeast, and then it's necessary to raise the temperature, of these tanks. The red varieties needs more or less 30 degrees Celsius in order to obtain the fermentation process. The white varieties needs, more or less the white variety, needs 20 degrees Celsius. Yes? And why is it necessary to raise the temperature of the tanks is to activate the yeast. The yeast will eat the sugar of the grapes, natural sugar, yes? And because of that combination, sugar and yeast, therefore, we will obtain the alcohol. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. This process will last 1 week or 2 weeks. It all depends on the variety. It all depends on the winemaker's decision. So once they obtain the alcohol, yes, a very important process, then they will lower the temperature. Then we will use very low temperatures, like this, 13.8, 12, 10, low temperatures to preserve the wine in good condition. All right? So this is the first process we make, the first treatment, the fermentation process. Of course, then we have more treatment, but it's a very difficult subject, so I will explain very simple. We have the maceration process, especially in red wine. Maceration process is a combination between the juice and the skin. Yes, that's why we obtain the red color in our wine. Then we have a process called second fermentation or malolactic fermentation. We are going to smooth the wine in that opportunity. Then the malolactic fermentation, we have the clearing process. Okay, the red wine they will use albumin, dry egg white powder. Yes, for the white wine they will use bentonite, it's a kind of sand. Okay, to clear the wine. And then we have the filter process in order to take out the sediment of the wine, sorry. So, to tell you the truth, more or less, the wine will stay inside of these tanks 4 months, 6 months, or maybe 1 year. Yes. Always with low temperature. Then, it's necessary to use the barrels for the aging process. Yes, in order to obtain different sensations. So now we're going to visit our wine cellar number 9, and over there I will tell you more details. In that place also you can ask questions. Okay? So let's continue to the wine cellar number 9.
What's going on?
Come on, man. New bottles made in Chile by a company called Cristal Chile. Santa Rita Viña, Cristal Chile, same owners by the way. Okay, same owners. New bottles, then we wash the bottles over there and we sterilize, but we can say over there, washing machine. Then we have the filling machine over there. The capacity is between 8,000 bottles to 10,000 bottles per hour. They fill 10,000 bottles per hour, 1 hour. It's a very, very fast machine. Then we have two options over there. We can use the corks or maybe the screw tops. We generally use the screw tops for young wines. In the Casillero cellar, I will give you more, I will tell you more details because it's a very noisy place. Sorry for that.
How many types of wine you have?
We have here in Santa Viña, well, more or less 20 varieties, but it all depends on the year. It all depends on the harvest, the quality of the grape, and origin of the wine. More or less, that's the average.
Imaginary points. For an imaginary point.
Yes, there are many technical words here.
Imaginary fictitious point.
I deserve one.
I gave you 2 points.
Very good. Everyone here? Yes, I think so. Oh, well, I do notice in this past this place used to be a stable. Okay? Today it's a special wine cellar called Casillero. This Casillero, by the way, doesn't belong to the devil. No, that's the yes, the enemies, our enemies. No, this is Viña Santa Rita. Yes, don't get confused. So here we have only premium wine, good wine, okay, expensive wine, yes. So imagine the premium wine is aged more or less 14 to 20 months. Then we bottle the premium wine, and then we will have here the bottles. Why? Because the winemakers, this area, they want to obtain a more concentrated wine, a more complex wine. They want to obtain an evolution of wine. That's why these bottles of wine will stay here 1 year, 2 or maybe 3 years in order to achieve those goals. But to obtain that, they recommend to place your bottle in this position because there will be a connection between the wine and the cork, so the cork will stay humid. We will have, yes, we will have some oxygen here enough to obtain that improvement, that evolution through the time. But remember, the horizontal position. If we maintain the bottle of wine in a vertical position, the thing is there is no connection between the wine and the cork. So the cork will get dry. And the microholes of the cork will open, and probably we are going to receive too much oxygen. And again, we are going to obtain vinegar. Yes, that's another idea because we have here premium wine, expensive wine. We're going to obtain premium vinegar. Expensive vinegar, so that's another idea. So remember to keep your bottles of wine at home in this position. Okay? We use natural corks in Santa Rita Vineyard, obtained generally from Spain and Portugal. Natural corks. The screw tops, probably you are wondering the results. We use the screw tops to obtain always the same flavors, original aromas, okay, fruitiness through the time with the screw top. But with the cork, we will obtain different results. That's the difference. Yes, I think you had a question. Tell me, please.
Yes, why is important the form of the bottle? Like
Yes,
Yep.
yes, the shape.
The shape?
This special shape is called pant, P-U-N-T, as a technical word. But we have this in order to obtain a more resistant bottle. Okay. So also in premium wines we will have some sediments. So the sediments will go to the bottom. Okay, and that's also is very useful. Okay. Also in the bottling plant it's necessary this design in order to bottle to fill the bottles. Okay. So that's why also in a restaurant the waiter can hold the bottle this way, and pour some wine. So, but the first, okay, objective is to obtain a resistant, okay, a very resistant bottle. So that's why they use generally these bottles for premium wines, of course.
some people say that the bottles that have that form are more expensive than the others that don't
We
have
can
like.
say that's a myth. So now you know this, yes, the reason why we have this design. Yes. Do you have any other question, please? Price, maybe?
Maybe. What is the price
Yes.
of the bottle?
How much is it?
Why is it expensive?
The price, for example, talking about this wine, Floresta, we have a premium wine, more or less talking about dollars, 100 US dollars, only one bottle, only one. So look here, we have many bottles. In other words, we have a lot of money here. Yes. So I will pay attention to you. I will pay attention to you because I don't want to miss any bottle. Yes? 60,000. So then we have our oldest seller. Pelican. Yes, in English.
English asking in
The label.
Just wait a little while. Thank you.
No se ve nada.
Very well. Are you ready to hear about this place? Is everyone here? Yes. Okay, so this is our first wine cellar in Santa Rita Vineyard. This place was made in 1880, a long time ago. So it's called Calicanto. Spanish words. Calicanto means that they use three ingredients to make the base of this cellar. Yes, they use limestones. Okay, piedra caliza, limestones. They also use some sand. Okay, and they also use a very special ingredient. They use eggs. Yes, eggs. To tell you the truth, they use the egg white. Yes. They told me that many eggs were needed to make this place. Probably many chickens were needed as well. Who knows? Yes. Why? The combination between the egg white and the sand, as a result, we obtain something like concrete. A very resistant, solid place. And why is that? Because in Chile, we always have tremors and earthquakes. Yes. So in 2010, we had a terrible earthquake, 8.8 in the Richter scale. Probably you remember that earthquake. Yes.
Yes.
So at least here we lost these two pillars right here. These white pillars made of concrete, different to remember what happened in 2010. The terrible earthquake. Yes. In that time, the company Santa Rita Viña lost 5% of the production here. Today, this cellar is a national monument protected by this company and also the government. Sorry. So that's why it's impossible to work here because they want to protect the building. There are few buildings made of Calicanto. Yes. So today this place is like a museum. It's a and also we can say it's a fake cellar because the barrels are empty. No wine inside. Okay? So meanwhile you can take pictures. This is our first wine cellar in Santa Rita Viña. Okay? Take pictures. Take selfies. So as I told you, there is a theory that at least some of the 120 soldiers who fought for our independence in the past were hidden here. Yes, they visited this place in 1814 when this place used to be a hacienda. Yes, so by the way, if you see some soldiers inside, don't be afraid. Nothing is going to happen. Yes? Yes. Be careful. Okay, so this place today, as you notice, it's a premium wine cellar. So these bottles of wine, okay, belongs to the enology department in Santa Rita Viña. In other words, the winemakers are the owners. This is a private collection. So every now and then, the winemakers will drink some wine in order to know how the wine evolves through the time. Solely to investigate that. Investigation, yes. They will drink some wine. Yes, it's a hard job to do. To drink some wine in order to investigate. But somebody has to do it. Over there we have the oldest collection. Probably you're wondering about that. The oldest collection over there. Okay.
You'll die in so many forms.
We have here the oldest collection in this cellar. Bottles of Cabernet Sauvignon Casa Real. The vintage 1986. Probably they are 28, 29 years old.
Yep.
Like the t-shirt. Yes.
27.
28.
28, okay?
No voy a decir nada. No voy a molestar.
The oldest collection.
Babylonia?
The oldest collection. And here we have the most expensive collection. Bottles of Cabernet Sauvignon Casa Real. But the vintage 1989. Yes. Why the most expensive collection? Because this variety, this brand, received a very important prize award given by a British magazine called Decanter. So that's why one bottle can cost more than $1,000 US. Only one bottle.
How much?
$1,000 US. Please tell me. Yes, you have a question. We sold one bottle just like 5 months ago in that price. Yes. And sorry, but this wine is not included in the tasting. Sorry. It's not included in the tasting because it's locked. It's locked and I don't have the keys.
Who has the keys?
Yes, I don't have the keys. Sorry.
We can break that.
Okay.
Be careful.
We are going to meet the first owner. Let's meet Mrs. Paula Jarquemada. Please come in and don't be afraid.